2. Test, test, test. 1, 2, 3. Says I'm streaming. Testing 1, 2. Testing 1, 2. Test, test 1, 2. Looks like we're on. How's it going, everybody? Let's give it a few minutes, see what's going on. Hey, Adam, how's it going, brother? Can you hear me? Let me know if you can hear me and see me. Everything going good? Doing a quick live stream tonight. There's nothing else to do, so I figured, what the hell? Let me see, make sure that's going. Good. Oh, I love the new Mesa, man. Haven't had a whole lot of time with it, only about a week or so since I've got it, so still experimenting with some stuff and, you know, tweaking some sounds and some tones, so everything's good. Hopefully this doesn't buffer for you. I'm just trying. It's going to be a lower quality stream because my internet up here is not the greatest, so I'm probably streaming at like 640 or something like that, but might be able to do that okay. Let me know if the video quality is okay. But yeah, the Mesa has been pretty good. Just trying some stuff and still going to experiment with it, and I'm waiting on just waiting on NAM to arrive because I want to buy a load box, or what I'm looking for is the aux, the audio, I guess it's like a reactive load box, and it has a lot of speaker emulation and mics and stuff like that. So what I want to do is I want to use that in the studio with my Mesa, and I want to plug my Mesa in there, and I can, you know, crank it up and get that tone going and use that as a recording device, because right now if I crank that amp in here, it's with those 212s, it's going to be super loud. So if I can put it through that aux box and crank it and get that tone but still have manageable volume in the studio, that's the way to go, right? So, but I don't want to go and pull the trigger on that yet because it is an expensive device. I think it's like $1,400 or something. So I want to wait till NAM comes, because if there's anything new or any other companies that offer something similar, then I want to make sure that I don't miss out on that, and I don't go and spend a bunch of money on something that's outdated. So that's where I am with that. Hey, Alex R, how's it going, brother? Just doing a quick live stream tonight. I was kind of bored and I wanted to test out some new things. Might have a new guitar to show, so we'll give it a few minutes, see who pops in. How's everybody doing? Other than that, everybody had a good weekend, I hope. Let me know if there's any issues with the stream, if the video is good and the audio is good. If there's any hiccups or whatever, let me know, because I'm still testing out the system here, making sure everything is working properly. We got 4 people in here, so if you're in here, say hi, so we'll know you're here. Maybe I can type something in there so that my name is in the chat as well. There we go. I wasn't sure if anybody else was streaming tonight, but I didn't see, so it's already Tuesday over there. Yeah, okay. Wow. What time is it over there? I guess you must be like are you in Australia or something? Must be, you must be right in the dead of night right now, I guess, or the morning. Yeah. So I've been doing a little bit of tweaking around with the studio stuff. Planning to start recording soon. My goal this year is to record some original songs and put that stuff together. Maybe by the end of the year have enough to do an EP or something like that. Where we at here? 1 a.m. in Europe. So what's better, Telly or Les Paul? They both serve their purposes. Depending on the song that I'm writing or the song that I'm playing, it can vary, or the mood that I'm in, I guess. I love my Les Pauls, and I got something over the weekend. I actually got rid of a Les Paul, so I'll explain that as we get going here. I'm just going to wait and see if anybody else jumps in, and then I can show you what I got in its place. Let me just do this. Don't want playback. Let me just pop out the chat and put that over here. Good. All right. Let me know if the video is still going okay there. Stop live playback. Can I do that without going off? All right. That might help my connection a bit here. Everybody still hear me and see me here? Cool. Hey, Paul Lou, what's going on? Hope everybody's doing well on a Monday evening. It's pretty nice here in the Toronto area for middle of January. Got very little snow this year so far. I might have jinxed it. Watch, the next couple of days we'll get buried. But it hasn't been super cold, and snow's been holding off, which is good because I'm not a big winter guy. I prefer summer, that's for sure. Just gonna keep an eye on the chat here, see what's going on. Yeah, you're still here. Okay, cool. Let me plug in a guitar here and see what that sounds like. You guys might be can let me know what's going on here. Hold on. All right. All right. Let's see. Put that on. Make sure that we've got sound coming through. How's that? All right, that's gonna be weird. Let me put on some headphones here just to make sure I've got my levels okay. Bear with me, folks. I'm gonna get this going here. Let's see. Let me know if it's too loud. All right, let me bring my chat window up here. Cool. Can you hear that? Guitar sounds great. Cool. It's not too loud. Alright. That seems to be going okay. My mic's still on. Yeah, alright. So let me just I probably get a little bit of noise with this guitar because of the P90s. They're not as bad as the Gibson P90s. They're a lot quieter, but where I'm sitting here in my studio, I've got a lot of electronics and stuff in front of me, a couple of screens and so forth. So these P90s seem to be a lot noisier. If I turn like one direction or another, it varies. Like if I turn this way, it's probably less noise as far as static and electrical noise goes. But no, this is not a baritone. This is a Friedman Telecaster, and it's a relict guitar, so it's got tons of cool relicing on it. It's kind of like weird on the video. It's a lighter blue, but it's showing pretty much like a darker blue here. You see a lot of relic on it right there, which is awesome. I really like it. It's got these old school knobs on it. It's got the back of the neck is awesome. Again, it's showing on the video as being kind of glossy, but it's not. It's completely bare. It's sanded right down to the wood here, which makes it pretty cool. Camera angle makes it look really yeah, it's because I got a wide angle lens on that camera, so if you put it yeah, when you put it close like that, so if I back up, it'd probably be a little better. So the story behind this guitar was when I went to the store, I guess about a couple of weeks ago, to pick up the Mesa amp. The store had gotten a shipment of guitars, and they've gotten a few Friedmans. I tried the Friedmans before, and the ones I tried, they were okay. Don't get me wrong, they were really cool and everything, but I don't know, they didn't gel with me as much as I thought. So when I saw this one, I figured, oh, I'll give it a shot, and I tried it and I really loved it. So a couple of weeks went by since, and I went back to the store. They still had it, and I had a Gibson Les Paul P90, the gold top. I don't know if you guys remember seeing that in one of my videos, but I wasn't playing it that much, and the reason I wasn't playing it much was because it's a super heavy guitar. So I wasn't one that I reached for very often. So I decided to put it up for sale to see what would happen, if anybody would be interested in it. And I got somebody that was interested in it, and it sold over the weekend. So I went and picked up this guitar. They still had it. I wanted to make sure I was getting another P90 guitar, and I wanted something a little lighter. I read a lot of good stuff on the Friedmans, and I can't say enough about this guitar as far as quality, and the sound of these pickups is really cool. Put a distortion on it. Let's see what this sounds like. Which store in Toronto carries Friedman guitars? And Niagara and would like. You have to go to Cosmo Music Store, and that's in Richmond Hill. So it's just north of Toronto. It's not that far from, well, I mean, it's far from Toronto. If you're on the 401, you get off on the 404, go north on the 404, and you get off at Major Mac. And it's on just north of Major Mac on Leslie Street. And they've got tons of cool stuff there. They've got all the SMEER, well, they've got a ton of SMEER guitars. They got Friedman guitars. They got Tom Anderson guitars, and then they got all your regular stuff like the Gibsons and the Fenders and the EVH and Paul Reed Smith. So if you're looking to try out a guitar that maybe you don't have in your area or in some of the stores in your area, I definitely recommend that store. But yeah, I think they've got about maybe I'd say 5 of them right now in stock, these Friedmans. They don't get them in bulk orders or anything, obviously. These are kind of one-offs here and there, so they get a few in. Yeah, you know, Cosmo, cool thing. Yeah, that's where I usually spend a lot of my time as far as music stores, because it's not that I have anything against any other music store. I go to any music store if I'm in the area, but when I'm looking for something, I know that they'll probably have it in stock, so I tend to gravitate towards that. and they usually have a lot of selections. So, and they've been pretty good as far as pricings. They don't move the prices too much, but sometimes they'll have specials on special occasions or whatever like that. They'll 10%, 15% off things, so it helps. Only got a few of you here today, so we'll just, if you guys have any questions or anything, let me know, or any discussions that you'd like to discuss. What camera are you streaming with? I'm streaming with a Sony, it's an A7R2 camera that I've got. It's stills and video camera. It's kind of overkill for streaming, but I had it, so I figured. I've got a whole rig set up in front of me here with a monitor and some stuff. So I'm just testing some different solutions out for streaming. For some reason, on the colors on my in my OBS software here, I've probably got a setting or something that's off, because I'm looking kind of darker and reddish, and on the monitor here it looks fine. It looks like the proper color, so I think I've got something funky going on with that. So I've got to investigate that a little bit more to see what's going on. But yeah, it's a Sony camera, and I've got a lens on it that is, I believe it's a 12mm lens, so it's super wide, which is kind of weird when you're looking at something up close, right? So yeah, they're nice cameras. I use all my cameras are pretty much, yeah, they're all, I've got a couple of Panasonics, but most of them are Sonys. I transitioned from Canon to Sony about 3 years or so ago. When the A7R2 came out, I was like, okay, I'm going to check this out. And then I tried one for a weekend. I had rented one just to find out if it would work in my business and stuff. So, and it just the resolution on those sensors is pretty amazing, what you can do with them. So that's what I decided to go with the Sony stuff. I've got an A7R3 that's in my bag back there, and that's what I use for most of my stills right now. But this is my A7R2 that I had as a backup, so I figured I'd hook it up to a capture card here and test it for some streaming and some video recording here at home. So it works out okay. And the lens, well, again, this is a wide-angle lens, so you can see most of the room with it. But I've got other lenses that are probably, you know, better suited for some of this stuff. I've got a 16-35 that probably work a lot better. So you're still on Canon, more and cheaper secondhand stuff, student friendly. Yeah, well, Canon makes some awesome stuff. Don't get me wrong. I love the Canon stuff that I had. It's just that I had an opportunity to move over to Sony, and I decided to go that way because of the mirrorless stuff. And at that time, Canon wasn't really doing anything in the mirrorless field, and I knew that that's where everything was going, so I jumped ship at that point. But just recently, Canon, I think late last year, they introduced their new mirrorless, and Nikon did as well. So I think that's where the industry's going as far as cameras. It's definitely it's moving quick, and it's going all mirrorless, which is, I believe, it's an advantage, because once you shoot with a mirrorless camera, you're not going to want to go back to the DSLR type of with the mirror and everything, because you can actually see everything that's going on in the finder in your eyepiece. So if you make a change to exposure, it happens in real time in front of you. So you're not, you know, you're not guessing. It's pretty amazing what they can do with that. And then the sensors themselves are just so much better. Hey Todd, what's going on, man? Yeah, so yeah, you missed it. I was just showing this thing. This is Friedman Telecaster with P90s. That's what I sold the gold top Les Paul, and I went with this instead. So I still got 2 Les Pauls, and I've got my SMEER Tele back there, and then I've got this P90 Telecaster, and then my SG is over there. So those are the guitars that I've got. And yeah, I like I said to the other guys here in the chat, the gold top Les Paul was really awesome, but it was a very heavy guitar, and I wasn't playing it as much. It was like not one of the guitars I was picking up on a regular basis. So when I got the opportunity to sell it, and I got a good deal, good price on it, and then I saw this a few weeks ago, that got my interest in picking one of these up. So they still had it at the store. The deal was okay. I was able to sell mine quickly, so that's what I did, and it sounds really good. Hey, thanks, Todd. Yeah, it's really cool. It's really light, and it's, you know what, I've never looked at relic guitars that much, but I really I kind of dig it. I like it a lot. They've done an awesome job on the relic of this, and it's, you know what, it's one of these things you pick up now and you don't even think about, like, oh, am I gonna scratch it or anything. It doesn't matter. It just, you know, and the neck on this thing is like insanely good. The action's super low. I heard a lot of good things about these guitars. Obviously, it's Grover Jackson that makes them with Dave Friedman, so you know it's a quality instrument. These pickups are super good. I mean, gee, the sustain you get on these is unbelievable. Probably play Metallica on this. It's got so much sustain. But like I was saying to the guys in the chat earlier, the pickups, even though they're quieter than the Gibson ones, depending where I'm sitting in this room, you're going to get some static and some noise, because I've got a lot of stuff going on in front of me as far as monitors and electronics and stuff. So if I'm facing this way, it's definitely picking up a lot of stuff. But if I face that way or that way, then that kind of goes away. So that's a good thing about it. It's not that bad. How you been, Todd? You been okay? Having a good Monday, I hope. Yeah, I wasn't planning to do this stream. I just had nothing else going on, so I figured, let me try this. Yeah, these P90s, man, oh my God. And right now I'm going through my my Helix, which is I just made a patch, just a regular distortion amp and a few things on a delay. But I plugged that into my Mesa through the 212s, and the sustain and the sound of these pickups is like really cool. Yeah, 60 cycle hum to get that awesome. But you know what? It's they're not that bad. Like in the rest of the room here, if I face that way or whatever, you wouldn't hear that hum or anything. They're really good. Hey Jason, what's going on, man? Just doing a quick stream, a quick test here. This is what I got rid of my gold top Les Paul, and this is the beast that I got, which is a Friedman Telecaster Relict P90 guitar. It's a lot lighter, that's for sure, than the Gibson. The neck for me feels really good. I like the way that they sand the back of these necks. So they get all the that clear kind of coat off, so it's super smooth, and I really like that. I wish all my guitars were like that, actually. I don't know if I would take my Gibson and sand the back of that neck, but it's a cool feel for sure. That's that. Yeah, these P90s, they have some bite to them, that's for sure. And that's in the middle position. If I bring it up on the top one, so if I go to the bottom and then I go to the top, well, this is a neck pickup. Yeah, it sounds, I really like these pickups a lot. I actually like them more than the Gibson P90s. I think you can probably buy just Friedman pickups, I'm sure. They sell them as options. They must be the standard size, but when I'm looking at them through on this guitar, they seem like they're, I don't know if they're longer or wider or something, but they should be standard size. How you been, Jason? Mr. Wade? You doing any live streaming tonight or tomorrow or anything? I think Guitar Hack is doing a live stream tomorrow with, is it tomorrow that's with Shane? I think it's tomorrow. I could be wrong though. I'd have to double check that. You guys have any questions or anything, just pop them in the chat. Let me know if you can, if everything like is looking okay, and if the stream is still coming up okay, because I've set it to a like a lesser quality just because of my internet connection. So, but as long as it's working, I'm fine with that. It's probably just 640 as far as the Billy Gibbons harmonic. Light start to the week, so nothing going on here. Yeah, just chilling. Yeah, same here. I was like just kind of hanging out here playing, so I figured let me go live, and because I'm still testing this stuff too. Like I said, I'm using this different camera tonight, and I know my settings in OBS are kind of weird because the color that I'm seeing on my screen for OBS, they're dark compared to what I'm seeing on my monitor here, my other monitor. But yeah, just a work in progress, let's put it that way. But it's coming along. I've got the setup down. I wish my internet connection was better, though. I could do a lot more cool stuff. But what I plan to do is put another camera back there, do some switching back and forth, run it through the and run a mic through the amp, so I can do some stuff with the Mesa as well. Sounds good and looks clear. Good. That's good to know, because like I said, we got a real patchy internet connection here at the house. And I set up a few different lights just to kind of light the area here a little bit better. It's easier on the camera, so you get the best resolution you can get without any grain or anything, because my ISO is really low on that. That's the key, right? If you guys got any cameras and you're kind of struggling with your setups and you want the best out of your camera, focus on your lighting. That's where you're going to get the best bang for your buck. If you can put your lights, a good set of lights in front of you, and light yourself up without, you know, blowing out the room as far as too much light, but just enough that your camera doesn't have to work so hard as far as delivering that quality picture, that you're going to get a really good result. Even with anything, like, it doesn't matter. It doesn't have to be this type of camera with a big lens on it. It can be just a small point and shoot camera, a webcam, an iPhone. It doesn't matter, because if you put the light correctly, you're going to have half the battle or more as far as image quality goes. And for a mic, I'm using my little lavalier mic here, so it's okay. Seems to be okay anyway on my end. I can see the levels going. So how many frets? This is just a standard 22 fret guitar. A steady tripod, some good filters, good lighting are essentials. Take nice, yeah, and I've got quite the rig set up here. I wish if I had my other camera set up, I could show you what I've got going on in front of me, but I've rigged it up with the different types of arms and stuff that I have. So my camera is sitting on something they call a platypod, which is not a tripod, but it's like a plate with a kind of a attachment on it. Then I've attached a separate monitor to it, so I can look right in my lens and I can see the image and I can see if it's focused and all that stuff. So it's pretty cool. But yeah, you definitely need some sort of tripod or some sort of rig that's going to hold your camera steady, because even now if I touch this desk, it's probably going to move because the whole desk moves. So, but you know, you use what you got. Camera angles make it look like a fan fret. Now, the reason that's kind of looking weird or distorted in any way as far as the neck and everything else is because of the lens that I'm using here. I'll probably end up using a different lens moving forward. This is a really wide angle lens. It's a 12mm, so anytime you're in front of it, like, look at this, your whole head goes weird shapes and everything. So it's a wide angle lens. So I'm going to change the lens probably moving forward, and maybe a 16mm or a 24mm lens would be better, and that way it won't distort things that are close to it, because look how when I put my headstock to it, it looks kind of weird, janky, right? So that's why that is. I love the mess, Jason. Yeah, it's I'm still getting used to it. I'm still playing with some tones and really dialing it in. I've only had it for a few weeks now, so and I haven't played it all that much because I've been busy doing all kinds of other things and setting up the rest of the studio. But with my pedals and the way that I've got everything set up now, I'm getting some great tones out of it. Like I was saying earlier, though, I want to get some sort of load box or an aux, they call it the aux box, which you can plug your amp in, and then you can crank the amp up pretty loud so you really get the tubes going, and then, you know, it's not blasting in here, it's going, you know, a lot lesser volume in the cabinet, and then I can go right into my interface with it as well, which will give me the amp tone, and it won't be black, because if that amp is super loud, it's 50 watts, but man, if I put it up to like 2 or something, it's in this room, it's like super loud. Let's see. In my last video, I tried a hard light on the guitar, and the soft box on me highlights the background, so you do a lot well. Yeah, as far as lighting goes, that's the way to do it. If you can light yourself, and again, if I had the other camera set up, I'd show you this angle that I'm looking at, but I've got one light on this side and then one light on that side, and I've got one a little brighter than the other, and I've got 2 big white umbrellas over top of them, so they soften the light up a lot. Because if I didn't have those umbrellas, it would look like super harsh, and it would probably blow out some, so you'd be like white spots or whatever. It would be too blown out. The camera would, you know, wouldn't know what to do with the background, and it would be all over the place. So definitely, and umbrellas are not expensive, guys. I'm telling you right now, you can buy like probably on Amazon 2 stands, 2 umbrella mounts that would go on those stands that you put your lights on, and you probably pay like maybe 50 bucks for the whole set if you're, you know, if you look around and stuff. They're not that expensive, and what you want to look for is a shoot through transparent, or I guess they're white umbrellas, but they're shoot through, because they do make white umbrellas that you shoot into and they bounce back. I prefer the ones that you shoot, like for this type of application that you're doing here, I prefer the ones that you shoot through them. So definitely look at those. Let's see. Alex says, I'm trying to decide between my Sigma 18 to 35 f1.8 for streaming on the Canon 18. Love the autofocus background with Sigma, but can't really get the guitar in the frame. Yeah, it depends on how much you need to get in the frame. The width of your lens will matter. Also, if you're shooting at 1.8, remember that make sure you're in focus, but if you move a little bit at 1.8 or 1.4, you only got a little distance that you can move around back and forth before you go out of focus. So just be cautious of that. Sometimes it's better to shoot at a 2.8. Gives you a little bit more. Like I'm on a wide angle right here, and I'm shooting at 2.8, and I've got lights and everything, and it's fine. But you know, back there, if you can see the guitars and stuff, they're out of focus. Obviously, the background is blurred a little bit. But keep that in mind if you're shooting with anything like a 1.4 or 1.8. Depending on the distance to your camera, you have to be careful. What else do we have? 50 true tube watts will bust your eardrums for sure. Yeah, 50 watts is very loud. I would have no problem taking that amp and that 212 cabinet to a gig and play in a really, you know, a fair sized room without any issues, because I haven't cranked it. Like, I mean, I cranked it just to see what it would do, but I haven't really pushed it to the, you know, because an amp, what happens is your volume, you turn up that volume and you'll get a lot, like it'll come out, but maybe if you get, you'll find the sweet spot on that amp where you get to a point where the volume is maybe at 7 and you go past 7 and it's not really a big difference. It's kind of hit its peak, and then you go past that, then you're out of the sweet spot, I find. And that's the way I kind of put my amp tone together, is on every dial, the tone dials or whatever, I'll take the bass and turn it right off, and then I'll strum something, I'll just hit a chord, and then I'll bring it up gradually, and I want to see where the point that thing is activated, as far as I can hear a difference. And then if I go past that, you're not really hearing any difference a little bit, so I know that that's where the sweet spot is. And I do that for for the treble and the middle, presence, everything, and then that's where I get kind of my tone set, and then I shape it after that with either my EQ pedal or whatever other pedal I want to play with. But my amp, that's usually the way that I set it, is I get to its sweet spot and I either back it down a notch or I go up a little bit just in case I need it, but I rarely do. When I hear that change in tone and I go up a little bit more and it's not changing anymore, I back it down a bit, and that's where to me, that's where the sweet spot of that amp is. And I keep it there, and then I kind of adjust after that if I need to. Alex, gotta take care of that, thanks. Best YouTube guitarist in your opinion? I really like Pete Thorne, and I saw him live at a clinic that he did here back in December, and I went to see him. So I actually, like, it's not just him on YouTube and what you see or hear from him. He's had time to rehearse. He kind of put something together on the spot, and it was pretty impressive what he's able to do, and he has great tone, and just his style is really, really good. Who's the other guy? There's another guy I really liked a lot. What was his name? Pierce? Tim Pierce, I believe. So those guys are really, really strong players, in my opinion. But again, it's just everybody's got different taste and different styles that they like. That's just this type of stuff that I like. But there's many great YouTube kind of guitarist out there. I mean, what's his name? Steins, something like that. He's got long blonde hair and he does lessons and stuff. He's a really nice guy on YouTube. He's a great player, a really good player. Yeah, Pete's awesome. Eh? I like listening to his Sunday streams because he goes into some good detail about some stuff. He knows his stuff, and sometimes he'll talk about an amp or a pedal, and he'll talk about it a little bit more detail and give you a reason why it's doing what it's doing, or he answers a lot of questions that, to me are relevant to the stuff that I'm looking for. And he's a really nice guy. Like, I met him in person, and just like so friendly, and he'll talk to everybody. He probably had about maybe 200 and some people at that clinic that I was at, and he stayed right after the clinic and signed all the CDs and all the pictures and stuff that people wanted signed, and he just hung around and did all that, talked to people. So yes, Robert Baker, I can't forget Robert Baker. He's definitely one of my favorites as well. Great guitar player, and I like his style, just that kind of let loose type of rock and roll style that he has, that Zeppelin type of feel. Yeah, really cool, really good. Jason says, I like Martin Miller as well. Martin Miller. You know what? I'm really bad with names. I probably watched his videos and I probably know who you're talking about, but the name doesn't ring a bell to me. But yeah, that's one of my things. I'm bad with names. You can walk up to me and I'll meet you, and 5 minutes after, sometimes I'm like, oh, what was that name again? Once I know you, and then I'm fine, but just offhand like that, that's one of the things. But Martin Miller, I'll have to check that out. I'll highlight that in my, I'll just write it down right now, actually. Martin Miller. I'm going to check that out. My favorite is probably Mateus, but Martin Miller is okay. Mateus, is he like a SMEER artist as well? It sounds familiar. And is he the younger guy or something? Again, I'm bad with names, so I'm not sure. He's an Ibanez guy. Oh, okay. I didn't know that. Interesting. Music and Mateus is crazy. Okay. Yeah, I'm sure there's tons of really good guitarists, like unbelievable stuff that's out there. It's kind of weird when we were kids. We didn't, like, before the internet and all that stuff, like, I'm in my late 40s for reference purposes, and growing up there wasn't like, you didn't know. You just, if you met people or heard somebody on a CD or something, that's how you knew. But in this internet world or whatever, all these people out there, and there's so much talent, even though they're not maybe signed or haven't really, done anything in bands or anything like that where they've had a lot of success with. They're super good, and now with this platform, they're able to be out there and show the world what they've got, and grow a following, which is pretty cool. Martin Miller. Okay, cool. I'll show that link here, Jason. Sorry. Show. There you go. Maybe what I'm going to do, Jason, I'm going to make you a mod, because I don't have any mods in my channel very much. So there you go. You should be a mod now. I don't hope that worked. Yeah, he's a SMEER guy. Okay, yeah. I heard Pete speaking about him before. I think I've checked out a few of his videos on the SMEER website where he was showing his guitar model, or his signature model, I should say, and really impressive. So that's cool. But yeah, that's what I mean. Like, I'm discovering all these people on YouTube that are super talented, and I looked at some really young guys, like, I'm talking 13, 14 years old, and they're just like insanely good. So, but I wonder sometimes if I had all the stuff that they have at their disposal now, as far as tools to learn, and the courses that are online, the video. I'm very much a visual type of person. I like to, if you're going to teach me something, I need you to show me. Like, I need to see it. It's not something I can't. I've never been a big guy that looks at the books and things like that with tabs or notes on them. I did, like, as a kid, just because that's all you had, and you kind of. But that's not my preferred way to learn, and that's not what I really connected with. So, to me, having what we have now, to be able to bring up a video and some guys in front of you playing, and I'm really like weird, because learning a solo, I don't really do that much, because I don't know if it's my attention span or whatever, when they're going, okay, now you're going to go on the 5th fret of the D string and you're going to do this, like, that's just too slow for me. I can't. I zone out. But if the guy's sitting there and he's playing it in front of me, but not saying every note he's hitting, I can look and see what's going on, and then I can pick up the guitar and pretty much work my way through it, because I've always learned by ear. So if I know the general area he's playing in, and I can hear the melody in the song, then I'm 90% there. Let's see. It's amazing how many great players are there. I'm a smart. Yeah, you're blue now. Alex R says the first YouTube guitarist that inspired me was Sanjay Jung, the fingerstyle guy. He was like 14 back then. Yeah, it's amazing how young some of these guys are, and they've got the skills of somebody who's played for 20, 30 years. It's pretty cool. Jason says that's why I watch YouTube, to learn. Watching others playing when I play, that's replayed. Yeah. You know what? It's amazing what we have access to as far as resources. So, yeah, all the better. I just wish I had it when I was growing up, because I was super active in music back then, and I played in bands and I did all kinds of stuff. Having that would have, propelled me a lot sooner and probably helped me out quite a bit. But you had to do much more work back then to learn, and to because we were a cover band as teenagers, so you sit by your cassette player and you hit play, listen, rewind, play, listen, try it. And we played Metallica and all kinds of stuff, Guns N' Roses. So some of that Metallica stuff back in the early days, when you're just learning, it was tricky. Hey, BV Ninja, what's going on? Mateus is from Brazil, went to MI in LA, had a pink signature exotic guitar. Interesting. Did not know that. Yeah, Jason says same here. So I think a lot of guys that are in our age group probably, grew up with the same thing, right? Just learning by ear. either with a record player or a cassette or CD or whatever, and just kind of listening back and forth and just not really slowing it down, because I never did that because it would change the pitch and then I would be all over the place. So, but I did, you know, rewind, play type of thing. But in a way, that's probably good because it develops your ear. And right now, I can listen to any song. I might not be able to tell you that guy's playing an A right now, but within a few, if I pick up a guitar, within a few bars, I'll know what's going on as far as, you know, okay, this is going to be in the key of A, and this is the type of stuff he's doing. The real intricate stuff, obviously, I need, you know, I need more work on. I've never been a guitar, well, I was never a guitar player to begin with. I was a bass player, so learning all this lead stuff, everything, it's all new to me. But the concept is still the same, like learning the scales and everything and understanding melody and being able to hear the notes, you know, very beneficial. Put some, hold on, I got delay on this thing. I probably got delay on my patch here, hold on. Oh yeah, there we go. We got Tom Quayle. Yeah, Tom Quayle is insanely good. I never knew anything about that guy until I started playing again and I started doing some YouTube searching and I found that guy. He's unreal. Like I have no idea how that guy plays that way. That would take me, geez, I wouldn't even venture a guess to how long it would take me to get anywhere near that. Let's see, definitely. What else we got? Yeah, his style, his fusion is just, it's just his runs and everything he does, like his fingers seem to just, it's unbelievable. I can't even explain it. Blown away. But again, it's not, like I know a lot of players are really good and there's certain bands out there that are, you know, like really technical and stuff, but it's not necessarily the stuff that I listen to on a regular basis. Like, I can appreciate it, but it's not my go-to thing where I want to listen to something. I'd rather listen to Skynyrd, obviously. Like I don't know why. It's just everybody's got taste and what really resonates with them. I can appreciate great classical type of players and that's amazing stuff, but when I'm sitting around jamming or listening or going to a concert and just want to, you know, have fun or whatever, that's the type of stuff I listen to for some reason. I went to a Black Sabbath concert, like their last time they did the tour or whatever. Man, I love that stuff. That's awesome. Let's see, BV. Jason, we posted a video in Ben's guitar group on Facebook of my friend Tomo F. Berkeley demonstrating how to learn a song he did not know in 10 minutes by ear. Did he? Okay. That'd be interesting to check out. I don't know. If you can learn stuff from people's techniques of how they do stuff, that's for sure. So I'll have to check that out. Thoughts on John Mayer? I think John Mayer is really good. Again, it's not something I would be listening to on a regular basis, but I did see him. I didn't see him live, but I saw him. I have a couple of DVDs of Crossroads Blues Festival, and he's part of that. He's on there, and what he performed on stage with some of the musicians there, and he did one of his own songs. He did a Jimi Hendrix song and stuff. Like, no question, this guy really is really awesome. But just his original work, there's a few songs that resonate with me, but it's not something that I sit and listen to a full album and go, wow, you know, I'm into it. So that's probably where I sit with the John Mayer stuff, that's for sure. But man, great player. I did try his signature PRS on, not this past weekend, but a couple of weekends ago when I was at the store. They had it. It's nice, but I don't know, the neck, maybe it's the neck profile or the radius or something like that. It just, like, it was nothing like this. This is like, I can beat on this and really, you know, slap strings, and the neck just feels super comfortable and stuff. That wasn't the case with that PRS Silver Sky. I didn't bond. And I almost bought one of those, like, when they first were announced and the stores were starting to get them, and I could pre-order one if I wanted to. And I was looking for a Strat, and I was like, oh, what do I do? And I almost bought one. I'm glad I didn't, because you couldn't try them because nobody had them. You had to pre-order them and then take your chances when you get them if you like it or not. So kind of glad that I didn't go ahead and buy one, because when I tried it again a few weeks ago, it didn't do anything for me. What do we got? Let's see. One of the first guitars I remember seeing on YouTube was Matt Rack, about 12 years doing new Canon. It's crazy. Don't know. Have to check that out. Matt Rack. Todd says, Brian, are you doing any of Dave? I haven't done any of those challenges yet. Not because I don't want to or anything. It's just I haven't had a lot of time to sit down, and because I think the way that I probably go about doing one of those is I would get the audio. You know, you just get the audio from the YouTube clip, bring that into my Studio One, and then, you know, make a separate track and then play over it and then save it as its own thing, and then put the video up after that. But I just haven't had a chance, I guess. I don't know, maybe it's just, I don't know why, but I am going to do some for sure. Just trying to get this whole studio thing set up and getting all the pieces together and configuring everything. That's what I've been focused on in the last I guess last month or so. So I haven't taken the time to do some of those challenges, but I definitely will for sure. And I know some of the guys that are putting the stuff on, they're really good. They're putting out some great stuff. So it's looks like a lot of fun, that's for sure. What else do we have? Music and Luthery. John Mayer, teacher at Berkeley. BB says, oh, okay. Alex. Alex says, tried the Silver Sky 2 last year at Toman. Didn't like it much either, but I'm not a fan of Strats. Yeah. BV says, I have a Silver Sky, love it, 7. Yeah, I mean, it's everybody's different, I guess, you know, on what guitar speaks to you as far as what feels good. I know lots of guys love that guitar, and it, don't get me wrong, it sounded really good. It's just, for me, I guess the style that I play or the way that I play, that neck just, you know, it was so, and I was used to Gibsons and stuff, and I was like, oh, no, whatever. But you know, it's an expensive guitar too. It's like here in Canada, you're pushing $3 grand plus, right? And you add the tax on top of that. So for me to spend that, which, you know, this guitar is in that range, and I had to sell my gold top Les Paul just to be able to get close to getting this. So if I'm going to spend that type of money, it's got to be like completely, like I got to be in love with it, and it's got to be fit my style. But there's nothing wrong with the Silver Sky. Don't get me wrong. I mean, it's a top-notch guitar. Todd says, "Who are some of your guitar heroes?" Um, Guitar hero. There's so many good ones. I mean, I like Joe Bonamassa a lot. Not, and when I say Joe Bonamassa, I don't sit and listen to like all his stuff, but as a guitar player, like I've seen him live, and it's quite amazing. Like his style and just the raw nature of his playing and stuff. I really like that. Obviously, I like Clapton. Who else? There's so many. It's hard. It's hard to just nail one down. I saw ZZ Top this year, which blew my mind as far as what Billy Gibbons is. And it's weird because Billy Gibbons, you watch him and it's kind of effortless, super simple, you'd think, but man, it's like crazy the tone that guy gets, and his style is really cool. And I grew up, with 80s type of metal and things like that. So, guys like Warren DeMartini and Rat always blew me away. George Lynch was a a really good player as well. Um, when Guns N' Roses came out, I was impressed with Slash, but I wouldn't call him a super technical player. And back then, he was playing. Uh, he was good. I mean, he's gotten even a lot better now. Like when you listen to the stuff he's doing with Miles Kennedy and stuff, his guitar playing is very different than when it was when they came out with Guns N' Roses. But when they came out with Guns N' Roses, it was raw rock and it was sloppy and stuff, and it was great because I think it was needed back then, for sure. I think they came out at the right time. Back then, everything was polished ballad, big arena rock, and everything. When these guys come out and they're like dirt bags and just like here we go, and just sloppy, old time rock, Aerosmith type of vibe. So really cool. Let's see, what else do we have? That's what I did for guys and gals. I communicate it on YouTube, send it to them so they could record over the top. Hey, Guitar Hack, what's going on, brother? Harry, shut the stream. yeah, Guitar Hack's in here. Everything's gonna go right to hell now. What else do we got? It's in Billy's fingers, Todd says. Yeah, again, you listen to ZZ Top and you go, oh, it's pretty simple stuff and everything, but geez, that guy is, and when you see him live, it's even like, it's 90% even more impressive because you hear his tone and he's up there and he's just super cool guy, just like effortless player. What else do we have? Guitar Hack, how's it going, Guitar Hack? Have you you're not, are you streaming tomorrow, Guitar Hack? I think I saw something that you're streaming tomorrow with Shane, which I think is right, but I wasn't sure, so maybe you can let everybody in here know as well. BB, I'm going to see Joe B in May. Oh yeah, you're gonna love it. I mean, Joe Bonamassa is, especially seeing him live, that was so cool. And I saw him in a kind of a 5,000 seater type of theater that was really nice and acoustically treated, so the sound was so good. Brian, are you on Instagram? Yeah, I'm on Instagram. If you actually, if you look at my thing on the video down there, it says Brian Cote Photo. That's one of my Instagram accounts. I also have an Instagram account called Photo2Wheels. Let me type it in here, and that's all my motorcycle photography. I do a lot of motorcycle stuff, so let me just type that in for Instagram. I think it's Photo2Wheels. Like, if you check that out in Instagram, you'll probably find it. And then Brian Cote Photo is my regular Instagram stuff, so that's where I put regular photo shoots of models or whatever it is that I'm working on. But I figured I'd separate the channels, put one just for my motorcycle stuff and one for my regular photography. And if you go to my regular website, you'll see a bunch of stuff, briancote.com. It's just mostly photography things. Let's see what else we have. Yeah, I just found your Instagram. Your photos are amazing. Oh, thanks, Alex. Much appreciated. I've been doing photography, I think, let me think now. I started back in 2009, 2010 when I really decided that that was going to be a direction I was going to go into. And my job back then was a web designer, so I was working, you know, with computers and doing web design for the college that I'm with now. But you know, I was starting to get sick of doing that, and I really liked photography and videography. So when I approached them, I said, you know, this is really where my passion is. Is there a need for it? And I thought there was a huge need for it as far as where things were going, and they gave me a shot. So I built that whole service up. So back in 2009, 2010 is when I started doing that. And at the college, I do a little bit of photography, just, you know, corporate things and that. But that's when I started my own thing was, you know, probably 4 or 5 years ago when I do my own freelance stuff. And that's all the stuff you see on Instagram. It's all my personal work and the stuff I do with motorcycles. And I do some concerts. I don't, not that I don't want to do it. It's just that I don't have a lot of time. Because concerts happen on, you know, late nights and stuff like that, and I've got to be up at, you know, 5 in the morning to be at the college doing video work, so it's tricky to do that. But I do travel to Vegas and some places over the year for some other projects, and if I'm there, I usually have some contacts that, you know, they're running concerts or promoters and stuff, and they'll get me in to do whatever and do some concerts in that area, which that's always super fun. Let's see. Yeah, Shane's coming. Okay, so Shane's coming on tomorrow night for Guitar Hack, which is good. Jason Mays, look up my little brother's Superfly 73. You'll dig his motorcycle stuff. He builds them and has several. Oh, really? That's great. Yeah, I'll definitely check that out. Hold on, let me write that. At Superfly. Where is he based out of? That's cool. I love motorcycles. Well, I've owned motorcycles all my life. Right now I own, I just bought a new one, a 2019 Harley Davidson Road Glide, which I got back in September. I had a 2015 and I traded it in for that one. But yeah, and my wife rides as well. She has her own, so it's something we do a lot in the summer. We take off on the weekends and just, you know, go ride everywhere. It's awesome. It's kind of my my little serenity getaway. It's when I do my thinking on my motorcycle. Let's see, Hackisser. I have seen and met him a few times. Oh, you're talking about Shane? Great live show. Oh, you're talking about Joe Bonamassa, I think. Okay. Jason Wade, blah, blah. I'm just looking at the chat here. South Carolina is where he's from, your bike guy. Is he your like, when you say he's your little brother, is he like technically your brother, or is he just like, hey brother, like a friend? Because if you know, that's pretty cool. I've never built a bike or bought a custom build bike, but definitely do appreciate them and seen some really nice ones. I was at a motorcycle show just about a week ago, a big Toronto motorcycle show here, and I go every year, and there's always tons of really cool stuff there. My real younger brother. Okay, cool. And I guess he doesn't play guitar. Your brother. He's into motorcycles, but he's not a guitar guy. Is my mic kind of okay? I don't know. These headphones are kind of weird. Let me just move my mic down. There we go. I love these P90s. Man, these things are super cool. It's a Friedman. Yeah, there it is. Friedman. Yeah, you didn't see that guitar hack. There it is. It's a Friedman Telly with P90s. And you'll notice that one of my guitars is missing back there, and that's the gold top Les Paul with P90s. So that's what I got this one after I sold the gold top. I decided that I wanted another P90 guitar, but I wanted something lighter. I already had two Les Pauls, and I just tried this guitar a few weeks ago. I think I was telling you that I seen it and I tried it, and I really liked it a lot. So I went back and tried it again, and just had to have it. So I decided to let go the gold top. And that's where I ended up, and this guitar is super cool. I love the neck on it. And I don't know if you can't really see it with the light here, but that neck is all sanded in the back, so it's completely bare, so it's got a really cool feel to it. Yeah, one of the Les Pauls is gone. But you know what? I prefer this guitar for some reason. These P90s, they're better than the ones I had on the Les Paul. The sustain. I mean, they're less noise. I mean, if I it's volumes up right now, and where I'm sitting, got a lot of electronics in front of me. Any pickup will have some noise in it. If I go, like I'm in the middle position now, hardly any noise. I go down, you hear it, right? But if I turn, see, if I turn away from my monitor and stuff, it's not bad. But then I come back, right? But and the guitar is like super light, so which was one of the other big things for me. I wanted a guitar that I would pick up more often, and I like P90s, and so this is what I did. I went with this one, and I got a good deal, so I figured, why not? I wasn't going to buy another guitar this year. I was kind of set with what I had, and I was like, but then, you always say that, and then one day you walk into a store or something, and you try something that you bond with, and off you go. So this will be the first new guitar in 2019. And I'm not going to tell you guys that I'm not getting another one, because the last time I did that, 2-3 weeks later, this showed up. So you never know. You never know. Let's see. My brother just added you on Instagram and Photo 2 Wheels account. Told him. Cool. Thanks, man. Appreciate it. R2R3, what's up, brother? How you doing? Oops. Hope you were sitting down for that hack. Yeah, Hack is all. He's all shocked that I got rid of one of the Les Pauls and got a Friedman guitar in its place. What else do we have here? First guitar 2019. Yeah, that's it. Did you get, I think Jason, you got a guitar. Well, I know you got that Telly, but was that 2018, or was that technically a 2019 purchase? So, because I thought that was just a few weeks ago. But yeah, so that will give me my 2 Les Pauls, 2 Tellys. One Telly will have P90s, regular. The other Telly, the SMEER Telly, has regular Telly style pickups, and then my SG. So that's what I'm going to go with for now. And that should cover all my bases as far as what I'm doing here and recording this original music. I'll have pretty much everything as far as tone wise and guitars that I like to play. Let's see, is that a soft C60s kind of neck? Good question. It's definitely a little, it's thicker than a 60s neck, I think. Like my Les Paul back, I've got a Les Paul traditional and I've got a Les Paul standard, and the traditional's got that big 50s neck on it, which is fine with me. It doesn't bother me. Then the other one has more of a 60s style neck, and this one, it's kind of an in between both of those for some reason. It's not like as thick as the traditional, but it's not as thin as the standard, the 60s neck. So I'm not sure if that answers your question, but it feels really comfortable. I think the radius is like, it's a compound radius. It's super flat down here. So feels really nice. So that's all I can say. I'm not sure. I think, you know, if I went on the website, it would tell me all the details as far as that goes. But it's definitely, I think it's in between of a 50s and 60s as far as the thickness and the radius, as far as like how it feels in your hand, the carve. It's not a like a D shape or whatever. So it's, I think it's a C. I'm really bad with that stuff, right? I don't know. Like some guys will pick up a neck and say, oh yeah, it's got a V profile or whatever. But I don't know. I pick up a neck and, you know, okay, my hand feels good. I can play some chords. And with these Tellys, I really bang on them like hard. I play guitars different for some reason. Like when I pick up a Telly, I'll play it in a certain style, and I'll pick up a Les Paul and I'll play it a different way, like the way I attack strings and things. I don't know what it is. Some guitars inspire you to play differently, but this is like something you can pick up and just, you know, beat on, and you're not worried about anything. It's just, it gives you the tone you want when you do that stuff. So that's just how I feel about that stuff. So when I pick up a guitar in the necks and stuff, I really, either I bond with it or I don't. Jason says, both of mine were 2018, no guitars in 2019 yet. Okay, I wasn't sure. 2 Gibsons on the wall, a SMEER and now a Friedman, and I'd say you're real good to you're good to go. Yeah, I think so, right? Jimmy T, what's going on, Jimmy? Jimmy T. Go back to my clean sound here. Let me put the, there we go. There we go. That'll give you some clean sounds. I'm not going through my amp, by the way. I'm going through my Helix, and I just find it easier if I'm doing a live stream and I'm going through my interface or whatever, just to do that. Once I get my the aux box or my load box that I want to get as soon as NAMM is over, because I want to see what they release first before buying it, then I'm going to plug my Mesa Boogie into that and that into my interface, and that'll give me my Mesa Boogie amp, basically the tone that's coming from that amp, and I'll be able to crank that because I'm not going to be coming out of that speaker, so it's not going to blast this room, because that amp is really loud, and I'll be able to get those tubes going, and it'll give me that sound that I like. Nice pick attack. Great stream, but I gotta go get some sleep. Yeah, no problem, Alex. Thanks for joining in, man. It was kind of a last-minute stream, so I didn't really promote it or anything or put it up there. I just started going live. So, but thanks for dropping in, man. It's awesome. It was a great discussion. I hope to see you online for sure. The fretboard pretty much melts when you touch it. What else we got? All right, let's see what's going on. Brian, okay, BV says, thinks it will be the compound radius of 10 to 14 as it's a Grover's action he makes. Yes, that's what I'm pretty sure that's what it is. It's a 10 to 14 radius. Yeah, I believe that's exactly what it is. Guitar hack. Jason says, guitar hack, you looked into those Fralin P90s, noise canceling. Okay. Thanks, Jason. Yeah, no, I'm really happy with this guitar. Honestly, it's like, and I've never had a relict guitar, so this is kind of different for me, and it's kind of weird because you pick it up and you don't care, like if you've got a sweater on or whatever, you just like, you're not concerned with dinging it or anything. It's like if you ding it, it adds even more character or something. So you don't even think about it. You just pick it up and just play it, and it plays amazing. So thanks, R2. Thanks, R2. R2, did you get any new guitars lately? GT, yeah, good sounds. Yeah, thanks, Jimmy T. Again, I'm just going through my Helix. I've got a standard patch on there with some delay. Pretty much nothing, nothing crazy. I just find going through the Helix right now anyway, going through the interface, it's the easiest way to do it. And I don't know, on YouTube, sometimes they do a lot of compression on sound, right? So you never know what you're gonna get. If I can do a let's see, R2. I'm really thinking of buying Gibson Les Paul at P90s. Well, I just, that's what I sold I had one. I had a Gibson Les Paul at P90s and I sold it for this one. And nothing wrong with the Gibson. It's awesome, man. It's like super good, but I wasn't playing it that much because it was the heaviest guitar I owned, so I would pick it up less and less. And when I tried this one, I really liked it, so that's why I made the swap. But yeah, I can't go wrong with a Gibson with P90s. They're awesome guitars. As long as you like the heavy guitar, because I'll tell you right now, I don't know if they're all like that, and I know that Guitar Hack has a classic with P90s, the same one that I had, and he says it's a heavy guitar as well, so just be aware. Spanky Sweet Metallica, yeah, playing Metallica on a Tele with P90s, that's how crazy it gets here. Let's see, going to split same time zone, Alex. Okay, man, BB, have a good night. R2, you really get good deals on it. Yeah, you can get some really good deals on the 2018 classics right now. I think they've, or yeah, the 2018s, and that's what they have. They have P90s. So I'm sure, especially where you are, I think, well, I think I know you're in the States, but you might be in the Chicago area, I think, R2. You can probably pick one up for pretty cheap as far as like what they used to be. I think they're down by maybe $800 or something like that. So if you're gonna get one, I think you're good timing. Let's see, what else we got? Never tried P. Yeah, I love P90s. And these ones, especially these ones, man, they are different than the Gibson as far as like, I don't know, they're a little less noise and the sustain is more on these. And I don't know if that has something more to do with the whole guitar as a whole, but when I had my Gibson with P90s, holding certain notes and stuff, doing the same with this guitar, it's definitely more sustained on this one, which is weird because you think a Gibson, thick wood and everything else, that's where you get more sustained, but These pickups must be something different. I'm not sure what they're doing to them. Let's see. Guitar Hack says, I did a demo of mine on my channel if you want to check. Yeah, check out Guitar Hack's channel for his demo in the P90 Les Paul, because he's definitely got some stuff on there that you can check out. Check out Eastman P90s first, just got a 9 out of 10 in guitarist. Okay, interesting. Probably, Jason says Jason says that the classics are probably around 1,300 to 1,500 new, even less used. See ya, BV. Thanks for dropping in, man. Yeah, you're probably right, Jason. They probably are around 1,100 US, and you can probably, you know, if you want to, you know, deal with them a little bit more, they probably knock it down even more, because they're definitely moving them because they want to bring the 2019 stuff in. Jimmy T says, are any of your Les Pauls weight sleeve? Yes. Well, my standard apparently is, from what I've been told anyway, my standard is a 2016, and apparently it is, but it's still heavy. And then my traditional, which apparently isn't, which is the weirdest thing, because that's the lightest Gibson that I have, or had. I had 4 for a while, now I've got 2. But out of all the ones I've had, that's been the lightest, and apparently that's the one that isn't weight relieved. So it really varies. You have to try them. I mean, I could probably pick up another traditional in the store and it'd be heavier than the one I have. It just depends on the cut of wood that you have, or it's so many factors. But I know that if I pick up that standard and that traditional side by side, that traditional is lighter. And it's apparently not weight relief, and the standard is weight relief for some reason. So it's really weird how that works out. So definitely go to the store and try them. And I know a lot of guys order stuff online, and I've never ordered a guitar online, so I'm not really sure about that experience. So I always like to go to the store and try them and feel them and know what I'm getting. Let's see. Oh, Todd, okay, man. Thanks for jumping in. I'll be probably signing off very soon here anyway, since I just wanted to see if this stream thing would still work on my connection. And I've got to adjust this camera stuff too, because it's a lot darker on the screen here. It should be like I'm looking at a different monitor here where it's perfect lighting and everything. So I think I've got a setting in OBS that I've got to change. But thanks for joining and checking out the new guitar, and you can play anything from that to, let me go to high gain, let's see. So you can play that on this guitar too if you want. Did I forget that? No. Something like that. So yeah, you can play country, you can play blues, you can play metal, you can play anything on this thing. It's awesome. Let's see, what do we got? Guitar Hack says the standard is weight relieved, the classic is supposed to be. Yeah, I know, it's supposed to be. I don't, well, maybe it is, but I haven't, never played, like, that Les Paul is super heavy for me. That's what that sounds like. Hey, let's see, Jimmy T says, yeah, I would probably only consider a weight relief model. Yeah, the best thing to do, Jimmy T, is go to a retailer and pick a bunch of them up, man. That's the only way you'll find out, because even though they say weight relief, you'd be surprised. Sometimes it's depending on the cut of wood that they're using, it can be different, because like I said, that traditional I have, it's the lightest Les Paul that I've played, and it's not weight relief, so kind of weird. Yeah, this guitar sounds awesome, clean, dirty. It's got something to it. Wow, okay, what do we got? I'm gonna play my guitar hack special right now. Jimmy T says last 5 guitars all bought online, like a gamble. Yeah. Nocturnal, how's it going? Nice to see you. I guess I don't know if Nocturnal, if you're going to NAM. I think you are. Can't remember now. Thanks, R2. EVH gear. Hey, there's the EVH. How's it going, man? Nice to see you here. Just doing a quick stream tonight, testing some stuff out. I guess you're pretty much ready to go to NAMM. I saw your live stream the other day, and you were talking about all the gear and everything, ready to go. That's awesome. I would love to go. I thought about going this year, but with the work schedule and everything, I'm producing a bunch of live streams happening that week, so I can't swing it. I know Guitar Hack is talking about going to Summer NAMM, so if I have any opportunity, maybe I'll try to swing that. But I definitely want to get to the California one for sure. That's something I would like to do. But I hear it's crazy, like as far as people and everything else, which is fine, but I guess if you're going there for a purpose and you know what you're doing. What else do we have? Nocturnal says, nope, staying home with my oldest and the dogs. Oh, So I guess it's going to be Eric and one of the boys, and then you guys are staying home to hold down the fort at home. That's cool. Let's see. Just checking out the chat. Indeed, packed and other than everything is packed other than the clothes. Yeah, I'm sure you'll do great, man. I always like watching all your stuff, and you do some quality stuff. So I'm looking forward to seeing what you're going to be covering. If you have a chance to go to the Universal Audio booth and do just check out what they've got. I'd like to know if they've got anything new coming as far as, so I'm interested in getting that aux box for my tube amp. So right now I'm just running through the Helix through the interface, but I'd like to get my, because I've got a mess back there that I want to do a lot of recording with, but I want to go through the aux box for that, because I probably will mic the cab, but that cab is, and that amp is so loud to get it to that sweet spot of the amp that in this little room it's not always feasible. Let's see what else we got here. Jason says hack needs pass for summer NAMs, can't find one as yet. Yeah, I think summer NAM is more my speed, so yeah, it shouldn't be that hard to get a pass. I don't know, you should be able to swing one somewhere. Maybe if you I don't know if you have any music stores that I know you go to Long McQuaid and stuff sometimes. If you have any connections there or whatever, sometimes they can get you a pass. Summer NAM would be sweet. Yes, yes. Yeah, thanks, Adam. If you can, or Eric, if you can hit that booth, that'd be awesome for the Universal Audio folks. I don't know if they're doing anything new this year, but I don't want to pull the trigger on that aux box thing that I want to buy until I see what's coming. And I've got to start recording very soon if I'm going to stay on schedule for the end of the year, because I'm trying to record an EP of originals, and I'd like to have that done by the end of the year, so I've got to get going on it. I'm just trying to get all this studio stuff all configured and worked, and then I can start doing some recording and start tracking. Let's see, what else do we have? He said, Guitar Hack says my Long McQuaid guy moved on, unfortunately. Yeah. I've got a buddy that runs a Long McQuaid in New Brunswick, and I was thinking of if I ever plan to go to NAM or something, that check with him, because he's the manager there and he could probably swing something, but I'll double check with him and see if there's anything that he can do. Sometimes you can get lucky and get that. So I think most people are getting to NAM next week. Is it next Wednesday? I think it's next Wednesday when people start getting there, and the show starts on Thursday, so we should start to see some stuff coming soon. But yeah, to everybody that's going, it should be fun. I just hope that you guys don't get any issues with the border and flying and all that, since that whole government shutdown. Apparently there's a lot of, employees that aren't getting paid as far as government workers and things, so hopefully that doesn't affect any of your trip. Get there early enough so that if you run into any issues at the airport, that you're not struggling with any of those logistical crappy things. Yeah, so yeah, Eric says it's Wednesday to Sunday, which is good. All right, cool. You should have good weather. I haven't checked lately what the weather is down there, but I'm sure it's all, it's sunny, warm, and no fires like they had a few months ago, which is good that that's over with. Fingers crossed, yeah. So anyway, just wanted to pop on tonight just to kind of have a quick discussion, just testing out some live streaming stuff. Again, I'm streaming at a low quality here. I'm probably coming out at 640p or something, because of my internet connection here at home is like super shitty. So Um, so I'm just trying that. If I can stream, if the quality is good enough here just to do streams and the audio is okay, then I'm happy with that. I don't know how that sounds through the interface, but anyway, that's the Helix going right into the interface and then into OBS. So hopefully that sounds okay. And the quality isn't too bad. I know YouTube has tons of compression and stuff, so I'm still going to tweak some of these settings on the camera as well, and something in OBS because my colors are different from my monitor here that I'm looking at on my camera, because I've got an external monitor recorder, Adamus recording through my camera, and then I'm going into OBS with a capture card, but I think I've got my settings or colors or something in OBS that are kind of off because it's looking a little dark compared to what I'm seeing on my monitor. So I'm still going to be tweaking some of that stuff to get that going. Jason says my stream and format want to be like EVH Gear TV Network when I grow up. Yeah, I mean, that's amazing stuff that you're doing, Eric, because I come from that background of video production and everything, so I can appreciate all the stuff that you're putting together and how your production looks with the overlays and bringing in the chat and things like that. That's really cool. I tried something the other day with OBS, but again, being my connection isn't that great here to the internet at home, I was trying some Streamlabs stuff, I think it was, and I was bringing in the chat and using some plugins and things, but I found that it might be affecting my stream because it was pushing too much data or something. So I just made my Photoshop overlay here and just kind of playing around with that. I can still do picture in picture and bring up the browser and do some other stuff if I want to do that. I might use Wirecast. There's another program called Wirecast, and I have that at work, so I can install it on this machine and just use the same license. I'm sure it'll be fine. Which is a little bit more advanced than OBS and gives you a lot more features. So I might try using that moving forward as well. Yeah, so I'm glad that the stream is going okay as far as quality, because you never know. And I'm using just a lav mic. I've got another condenser mic I could put on the desk here or whatever, and I've got my headphones just for the simple fact of going through my interface with the guitar. That's the only way I'll hear it. Otherwise I'd be coming out of my monitors and then it would pick up on the mic and feedback, and so there's a lot of technical crap that you have to deal with. But having the Helix is super handy, that's for sure. You can just plug it in and get all your patches and do all kinds of cool stuff without too much fuss. Eric says, I had a problem with our internet here for a while and it has been killing me for upload speeds. Yeah, I feel that. My upload speeds are really bad here. Like, it's Download speed's about 30, and upload is like maybe 5 if I'm lucky, and even that is pushing it. So, but at work, at the studio at work, sometimes I'll do a stream from there, just a personal stream. I stream a lot during the day for educational stuff, which is, and our pipe over there is super fast. So I use a big TriCaster system over there, and it's 1080p. I can even stream in 4K if I want with that one, but not here. This is a very different situation I have at home. Let's see, Jason says OBS Studio is less stressful on your processor. Well, that's what I'm using now. I'm using OBS Studio version 22.0.3 is the one that I'm using, and it's fine. I mean, as far as CPU usage is very low, like 10% CPU, so I've got a super fast computer. But it's more the internet stream. It's the upload thing, right? That's where everything matters. It's pushing data to the internet that you need to have a good pipe and a good constant connection. Otherwise, your quality is just going to be what it is. R2 says, I need some P90s in my life. Yes, everybody needs a P90 guitar at some point. Steve from Boston has a gig up and a gig. Wow. That would be nice to have. I know some guys that are on fiber and stuff like that in Toronto, and they're getting some really good speeds. And then they got unlimited packages and all kinds of stuff. So, but I'm out here in the country. Like, I work in Toronto, but I live out just south of Alliston, Ontario, and I'm in a country, like not in a subdivision or anything. I bought a little place on a country farming area. I like that quiet lifestyle. So the internet isn't the greatest, but the rest is awesome. Guitar Hack says R2, R3, lock and load, just do it. Yeah, do it, R2. Go get your P90 guitar. You won't regret it. Jason says, cool, I thought you were using the Streamlabs version. No, I'm just using OBS Studio, but you can use some of the Streamlab plugins, I believe is what it's called. So I just created a Streamlab account, and then I can activate, like, say if I wanted to show how, if a new subscriber came on, it would pop up on the screen, or I can bring the chat, things like that. But I tried that the other day, and I saw that it was affecting some of the quality of the upload and some of the quality on my CPU, so I just, it's not worth it. Let's see. Still trying to learn my way around OBS. Guitar Hack says, I have a great teacher. Yeah, Jason will definitely be a huge resource. He seems to be diving right into that stuff, which is awesome. Guitar Hack says, no fiber here. Yeah, I'm surprised you don't have fiber, Guitar Hack, because you're right down, in the downtown type of area. So I thought that they would have that for sure. What else we got? Eric says, I would love it. In my town, I only get 10 megs up max. That's it's kind of strange. I think, correct me if I'm wrong, but I think you're in the London area. But I'm not sure if you're living right in the city or anything like that. But I thought that they would have, good internet service in that area, a lot better than that. Guitar Hack says, and I'm in Toronto. Yeah, I'm surprised, Guitar Hack, that you don't have access to fiber. Jason says, I have 200 down and 20 up. That's really good. That's anything, if you've got 10 and up, or 10 and more up bandwidth, I think you can probably do some pretty good streaming without too many issues. But mine fluctuates from anywhere from 3 to 5 up. So I've got I'm pushing 640 right now. And if I went to 720 and I bumped it up to 3 megs or something, upload, it would probably crap out on me. So, but it's all right though. I mean, I'm not looking, because I've got a separate recorder here. So if I want, I can do one of these live streams, and put them up on YouTube for what they are. But if I wanted to do a more produced video and still do live, I could record a backup of it on my high-end recorder here, come in at 1080p or 4K, and then do a quick edit in Final Cut, and then put that up as a higher quality version of it if I wanted to do that. But for these types of things, it's just chatting and kind of playing around and stuff. This is, you know, this is totally fine for me. Let's see what else we got. Guitar Hack says 14 megs down. No, Guitar Hack, you gotta have more than 14 megabytes down. You gotta. More West, very small. Okay, EVH says that he's in a small rural town. I thought you were right in London or something, right in town there. I can reach out. Yeah, you know what? I can reach out and touch cows as well, right in the field next to me. The guy has a bunch of cows, and so next to me is a big field that's just reserved for the cows, and back there is a conservation area where there's a lake and some trees, and then right next to me on the other side there's one house, and that's my neighbor, and that's it. On the rest of the street you have to go down about a mile before you get another house. So yeah, it's right in the country, and I like it. I like it that way. Guitar Hack says you just tested. Yeah, it's got to be more than that. 14.5 megabytes down is not much for a high-speed connection. Like, you're probably on Rogers or something, even Bell or whatever. Like, you must have access to more than that. There must be something going on then. Let's see. Yeah, Eric says he can live with 7 megs up and still do 1080. Yeah, as long as there's if you're doing 7 megs up, I think as long as there's not other stuff going on in your house, like I know that your son plays video games and there's a bunch of other things going on that might tax the network a little bit. That would be the only thing that would, you know, you look at if you're doing a show or something. But, you know, your experience with all that, you don't have to worry about that. You've got that covered, because I look at all your streams and stuff, and they look awesome. So you're good to go there. Jimmy T says 100 down and 1 point. Wow. 1.28 up. Eesh. Yeah, that's not much. But I feel your pain, because I had that for many years, and they upgraded our service just about a year ago, and our upload speeds went up a little bit. So, but not a whole lot more than that. Let's see. What else we got? Eternal sounds perfect. Yeah. Love the privacy. I kick everybody offline. Yeah, that's what you got to do. You got to tell everybody. I just told my wife tonight, I said, I'm going live for a few hours, so don't be streaming anything. And so, unfortunately, she's not she goes on the internet once in a while, but she's not always on there. So, and I don't have any kids, so I can kind of lock down the network and just free up the bandwidth to do this if I need to. Jason Wade, the results are in for Name That Tone. Watch it here. What do you mean the results are in? It's not over yet, is it? Unless I'm thinking of something different. I saw that you guys are, is it Scotty G or something has got a contest going on where he's giving away a guitar, which is cool. It's always nice to see guys doing some cool stuff online with that stuff. What else we got? I'm not sure if anybody else is streaming tonight. Do I have my, let me just check something. Oh, I see the Guitar Hack posted a video. I didn't see that earlier. Name That Tone. Oh, okay. I didn't, yeah, I get you, Jason. I know what you're talking about. Guitar Hack results, yeah, I get it. Jason, you got it right. Nocturnal Butterfly says, Jason, I'm not getting your notifications. going to unsub and resub, see if that fixes it. Yeah, YouTube sometimes is weird because I get that as well. Some of my channels that I subscribe to, when they go live, I don't get the notifications. Sometimes I do get it. So I'm not sure what's going on with that. You know, could be just a fluke, something going on with the servers at YouTube. Who knows? Again, YouTube is a free service. We have to keep that in mind, that it's great that we have it. It's free, but sometimes there's glitches, sometimes there's issues with servers, and that type of stuff happens, and there's nobody you can call to say, hey, my account's not working right or whatever, because it's just a free service and you live with what you got. So far it's been good, but I do this for a living as well. So we stream to YouTube from our college, and I've had some events that have gone pretty wonky because YouTube decided to go down one day, and we're just ready to go live, and there's a couple of hundred people waiting, and you know, we've got to come up with a backup plan and stream to another place and let everybody know about it. So it's just, it is what it is, the nature of the beast. I'm looking at the, for work anyway, I'm looking at a couple other options. Vimeo is an interesting one that has an enterprise level version that costs, I believe, $1,000 a year, but there's a ton of features and you have support behind it, and then you can stream out of Vimeo to the YouTube, Facebook, other platforms from there, and it's not taxing your bandwidth. All you're doing is sending something to Vimeo, then you can create your own custom player and everything else, your chat, but you can also stream to all the other platforms. And if something happens to one of those platforms, you've always got a backup. You can tell your audience, hey, click on the link and go here because YouTube is having an issue or something like that. So for work anyway, that's what I'm probably going to be doing in the next couple of months, is setting that up. But I mean, for us, what we do at home and stuff, that's overkill. Let's see. Yeah, Guitar Hack just retested. It's 650 down. Yeah, big difference from 14 point whatever you got last time. Jeez, I knew there was something up with that. That's not normal. Jason, I have this. Jason says, Nocturnal Butterfly, I have the same problem with others as well on YouTube. Yeah, the notification thing, yeah. Eric says, I had a real scary moment recently. A video was only showing 4.5 minutes out of the, really? Out of the 90-minute show. YouTube fixed it for me in the middle of the night. Really? That's a new one. I haven't seen that. But it's definitely possible that some of that stuff happens. I know I had one live stream at work where it streamed okay, and then usually it archives it. It did archive it, but it wouldn't let me publish it on the public side of it for some reason. It would say it was published public, then I would go to my channel and I would not see it appear. So I had to basically upload a new version, and because people wouldn't be able to see it unless they went to the private area. So yeah, YouTube can be finicky. It can have some issues, and you never know, right? So it's one thing to keep in mind. Jason says, Nocturnal Butterfly, if you get a chance to watch the last video I posted, you'll see what I mean by the community slideshow. Yeah, that's cool, Jason, that you do that. It shows what Jason's actually speaking about is that on his feed or on his player, you'll see a little window on the I guess right hand or left hand side, and it basically rotates through a lot of our community's channels and names and stuff. So that's really cool that you do that. Any way that everybody in the community can promote each other, that's just going to grow our community and help us, you know, content out there, and hopefully produce valuable content for everybody that's involved. That's what I'm looking to do, is doing some of these chats and some of these live streams. This is awesome, and I like doing it. But my regular videos that I post, just, you know, whether it's a review or a demo or something like that, I'm trying to find ways to do them a little differently, or maybe just review stuff or talk about stuff that hasn't been done before, because I find that sometimes you'll see in the community where, you know, maybe 5 YouTubers are reviewing the same piece of kit or whatever, and it's, you know, it's going through the same motions. So I'm trying to diversify a little bit and try to find a way to do it differently. But you know, there's only so much you can do, especially if you're doing reviews and you want to cover, you know, guitar stuff. You're going to cover the stuff that you get or you like, and the stuff you want to talk about, and there's others that are going to do the same thing. Let's see. I don't know, this Jav Carson message deleted. I don't know what that is. Oh. Yeah, that looks like we've got a troll, which is awesome. Let's see. Let me delete. Can I do that? Hide user on channel. Okay, there we go. Ah, interesting. Let's see. Eric says, yeah, I was pretty bummed it was with the Walking Dead. Oh no. You had a Walking Dead actor, and that was a show that got. Yeah, that's not good. That sucks. Oh well. Yeah, Jab. I don't know this Jab guy. I guess is. I don't know how you guys. I've only been doing some of these personal live streams for a very short while. So like less than a couple of months. So I've seen a few here and there trolls come in, but I don't know how you guys, if you guys get a lot of trolls on your channels when you're doing your shows and things, but I'm sure they're everywhere. They pop up in all kinds of places. Let's see. Yeah, my first troll. I think I had another one though. Back, this was probably early December. I did a lunchtime chat thing that I do from work sometimes, and I believe there was one that popped in there at that time. That was the only other time. So I've been pretty lucky so far with that stuff. But hey, I don't care. It's all good. You just delete them if they're there. You get all kinds of people in this world. Let's see. Jimmy T. Brian, do you use the Universal Audio plugins in your DAW? I don't yet. I use Wave plugins. I use a lot of Tune Track stuff. I use Easy Drummer for my drums, so that's a Tune Track product. Easy Keys is a Tune Track product where I can do some keyboards and things like that if I need to. I don't do a lot of that stuff. It's mostly pretty much guitar, bass, and drums, the stuff that I'm into. So that's what I use. But I don't know if you can use, maybe somebody here can answer that. If you use a Universal Audio plugin, do you have to have a Universal Audio interface? That's the only question I would have, because I've heard if you get the Universal Audio interface, it comes with plugins and you can use that. But let's say you're out on the road and you just bring your laptop or something and you don't have your Universal Audio interface, you open up your DAW, that plugin won't work because it's tied to the interface or something like that. So it's something that I'd have to look into. But I know they make great plugins and great stuff, so I have no objections in using their plugins if you can use them without having the interface, because I don't use a Universal Audio interface. I use a Focusrite. So, but I use Wave plugins. I use Isotope stuff, a few other little things. I don't use a whole lot of plugins. I have a few that I go to that are kind of my regular go-to things when I'm mixing or mastering or something like that. I've got a couple of nice EQs that I like, that I can really scope some of those problem frequencies and things like that, but I don't use an awful lot. I like to get my stuff, like I don't use a lot of guitar amp plugins and things like that. I usually get it from the Helix, or I mic my amp and I get my tones that way. That's just my preference. Let's see. Guitar Hacks has been lucky so far with trolls, yeah. Trolls belong under a bridge. We have, Nocturnal says we have the odd one creep in, but I like to play, so good. Jimmy T says either a DSP card or, yeah, I think the interface supports it. Yeah, the Universal Audio stuff, I think it's tied to their interface, so I'm not sure though. I can't say for sure. I'd have to see. I know if I do get that aux box to use with my amp, it comes with certain plugins and things like that that you can use, so I might try some of that stuff. Jason says my 11 rack works on the same premises, has to be hooked up to use the editor on my desktop and Pro Tools. Yeah. The thing with the Helix is that you use the editor that's on the computer, HX Edit, and that's the way I like to build my patches, is with the software. I rarely use the buttons on the Helix. I build everything with that software, and then I load them up on the Helix on the floor here, and then I can switch back and forth to whatever preset I want after that. But I like working from the computer screen on that thing. That's kind of my preferred method. it's just easier because I can see the blocks, I can adjust everything instead of, you know, because you can do it all on the Helix board, but I just prefer to do it in software. Jimmy T says there are amp plugins for UAD card interfaces. One for my Marshall that seems very good. Henning liked it, haven't tried it. I like mics and tubes. Yeah, I like mics and tubes, and I like tracking my guitar like with whatever sound that I'm going for. I know a lot of guys will track a DI track or reamp using the plugins, which is fine. I mean, I've heard some recordings with that and they sound amazing, but it just all depends on the way you like to work and your preference in sound. The way I like to hear the guitar, I like to hear this, you know, coming out of my interface as I'm tracking, or, you know, whatever, if I want to. And I've got a switch here on my desk that I've got 4 channels on this interface. So what I do sometimes is especially when I track bass, I'll track it through the Helix with some plugin, or not plugin, but a preset, so a processed sound, and then a DI track going in at the same time. So I'm double tracking at the same time, and then I can go back to the DI track, and if I want to put a plugin or an effect on that, I can do that. Then I can blend both you know, both channels. Basically, I can bring up one and down the other, and then make a mix out of that. So I do that a lot. Let's see, Jason Wade. Helix Native is a standalone plugin, though. You can use it with several. Yeah, you can definitely use it as a plugin. The Helix HX Edit, yes. Let's see, I think EVH Gear Network, which, yeah, Eric knows for sure. He uses all that Line 6 stuff. And yeah, he says, yes, indeed. Use it with nearly any interface and almost all the top DAWs. Yeah. Yeah, I haven't used it as a plugin because I've got the Helix and I just kind of work with that. But I know a lot of guys use the actual plugin version, which is probably the same thing as far as the tones and stuff. Because I know you're going through a processor here on the board itself, but the computer is acting as the processor when you're using the plugins, so it's all the same. I just don't know about the latency. That's the thing. So if you're playing your guitar and you're using the HX Edit plugin, you know, are you going to get that same feel when you're picking, and, you know, are you going to get any latency? Because I know with the Helix I don't, because it's like you're plugged into something and that's going into your interface, and whatever you're playing, you know, you're getting that instant, you know. You get that instant, you know, feel. That's the difference. Even if it's just a little bit of latency for me, like it doesn't have to be a lot, but I notice it. I'm very sensitive as far as ears, because that's where I learn everything by ear, and that's how I grew up, and I'm become very sensitive to that stuff. So if there's any type of little delay or something when I'm playing, you know, whether I pick and then the sound comes like right away, I can feel it. So I like to do everything straight in. Let's see, Jimmy T says, oh, okay, Jason, didn't realize they made a plugin version. We'll check. Yeah, they do make a plugin version. Just look, I think go on Line 6 site and you can buy it. It's the HX Edit. Nocturnal says, got a jet. Yeah, thanks, Nocturnal, for joining. And I'll definitely see you guys on your shows and other chats, I'm sure. But thanks for jumping in. Much appreciated. I'm just going to go for another 10 minutes or so anyway myself, and call it a night. Let's see what else we've got here. We've got Jason says, excited to see if Kramer is going to blow it out of the water this year. I heard a lot of stuff with Kramer. I think they're planning to do some cool stuff. So it'll be interesting to see what they do. Eric says, if you own various Helix products, you can get a real good discount on native. Oh, okay. Good to know. And he finds the latency almost zero. Okay, yeah, that's. I haven't had to use it because, like I said, I use the Helix, which to me is the same or better. So I just use that. But yeah, if you use it and you have no latency or next to nothing, then it's probably fine. Let's see. Yeah, Eric says I'm very sensitive to latency too. I had original Digitech whammy pedal I had to sell as latency, which was just a few milliseconds, killed me. Yeah, it doesn't take much, especially if you're very sensitive to that, like as far as what you process what you hear or whatever, and how you feel when you play an instrument. It's definitely plays with you, and if there's any type of latency, it just doesn't work. It doesn't feel the same. So some people can do it, and that little bit of latency doesn't bother them. They just keep going, and they're fine. They're used to it. But some people can't. I'm one of those. I just can't. Doesn't feel natural. Eric says, I'm recording an off-air interview Thursday night with all the new Kramer 2019 products. Cool. But I can't release it until Wednesday of NAMM. Oh, okay. Oh, so you're doing the interview this Thursday. Okay, cool. Yeah, well, I can imagine they probably have some sort of, document that says, can't release any of this information until they actually do the launch, right? So it's like that with everything. I have attended some Sony issues for the Sony cameras here, the A7 series, in the past as part of their programs, because I'm part of their partnerships, and they've invited me to some of their press events or their pre-press events, and yeah, you got to sign a document, do all kinds of stuff, and you can't release any of that information. If you do, yeah, you can get sued and all kinds of stuff. So I hear you. I hear you there, that's for sure. There's actually supposed to be another Sony camera that's going to be releasing in 2 weeks, I think. So there's one supposed to be announced tomorrow too. It's a smaller one, and it's got and I haven't signed anything, so I can speak about this one. It doesn't matter, but I believe it's more of a smaller type of point and shoot that has a flip out screen that flips up on top of it so that you could see yourself, and it's all 4K, really good resolution. I think it's the A6400 they're calling it, mirrorless. So that'll be an interesting one to watch, especially if you're a live streamer or somebody who likes to do vlogging and things like that. I think that'll be a really interesting product, because it has a lot of cool built-in features that are meant for the type of stuff that live streamers and vloggers do. And I think that's coming tomorrow. Cool. All right, let's see. Yeah, Eric, it's a non-disclosure document. All right, Guitar Hack, have a great night, man. I'll definitely catch your live stream tomorrow. It should be good. Okay, good night. Later. All right, so I think I'm going to be calling it a night. I've been streaming for quite a while here. I think oh my God, 2 hours. 2 hours really flies by. But anyway, I'm glad you guys could join me and check out the new guitar, which is a Friedman Telecaster, and I traded my P90 Les Paul for this one. Not that I didn't like the Les Paul, it's just I wasn't playing it much. I wanted a lighter guitar. I wanted it to be a P90. Tried this one, fell in love with it, so I pulled the trigger and did that. So that leaves me with 2 Les Pauls, this Tele, the other Tele back there, and then my SG. And that's the way I'm gonna roll. Let's see. Yeah, Jason, get off and enjoy the Friedman. Thanks for the stream. Thank you for a wonderful stream tonight. Yeah, thank you guys for joining, and I'll definitely catch you guys in the other chats and the other shows. I always follow everybody here, so that'll be cool. Eric, if I don't get a chance to talk to you before you go to NAMM, have a great trip and a good show. We'll be watching. We'll be seeing all the great coverage you're probably going to be doing during that week, so that's going to be awesome. So have safe travels, and I'm sure your son is going to have a blast. That's going to be awesome. And everybody else, Jason, R2, R3, thanks for joining. Jimmy T, a few of the other guys, Adam is gone. There's a few other guys gone, but thanks for joining. And till next time, we'll definitely catch up and have a great week. All right, take care, guys.